this evening, not one, but two stand-up comedians. Both snappy dresses.
Both hilarious.
Yeah, but one is much hairier than the other. It's Fozzie Bear and Dara Briain. Welcome both. Now then, Fozzie Bear.
Yes.
You are the resident comedian at the Muppets.
Yes.
But some would say that you lack comedic skills. I know.
A lot of people might say
Is
that.
it a fair assessment?
It probably is.
Oh.
But I will let you know that I hold the biggest collection of whoopee cushions in the Western Hemisphere.
And there's nothing funnier, let's be honest.
I mean, come on. Who would you say, Fozzie, are your harshest critics?
Oh, that's pretty easy. It's the old guys in the balcony. You know, Statler and Waldorf.
Well...
Yeah, but I gotta give them credit. They may not like my act, but they show up for every performance. Yeah.
Well, brace yourself. Let's find out what Statler and Waldorf think of this show so far.
Wake me when the show starts.
It's already been on a while.
Wake me when it's over.
It's rude. Barely even started.
Very rude.
Statler actually reminds me of somebody, Dara. I don't know if you've seen the... See the resemblance here? I think it's the eyebrows. I think that's what it is.
I mean, I said Dara, that's harsh.
And the tailor.
That's a little harsh.
Too harsh.
Yeah. It is harsh, but you know what? It's kind of true.
From you, I expected more solidarity.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Are you a fan of the Muppets, Dara?
I adore the Muppets.
Before Fozzie said that.
I adore the
Oh,
Muppets.
good.
I have nothing to say. I'm just going to sit here with my guru, my icon. This is what my career inspiration, Fozzie Bear.
I mean, what a moment.
Oh, stop it! This is like genuinely.
You're making me blush.
Because we'd read on our notes that Fozzie's actually your second favourite Muppet.
No. That's not one. Does not pick favourite Muppets. They're all my favourites. But I have a kind of a listen. I could list them, but an animal, a Gonzo is kind of my favourite. No, I mean I also love you, of course. Yeah.
I like you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, but there may be other people you like more. I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. But you know, Gonzo's great. And also Beaker with the.
Oh, we love Beaker.
Oh, they're great. I love them all.
Good.
Oh, sparks are flying over there. Well, first off, we're talking manners tonight.
Yes.
Dara, are you a stickler for good manners when it comes to your own kids?
Yes, I think people should be polite. I think people should have good manners, yeah.
Yeah, well, you are going to like this next film, then. Right up your street.
Okay.
Right.
Not even listening.
Fozzie, this is not one show
that.
etiquette.
What?
You need to get off that phone.
Fozzie's working on a deal, because Fozzie...
Oh, we're back on! I didn't know we were on! I'm sorry! Oh, I'm so sorry! Oh!
Fozzie...
So embarrassing.
Yeah.
Fozzie and I are thinking of working together.
Are you?
Oh, listen, it's been all being a dream. Hey,
Yeah.
Fozzie,
Yes.
why should you never tell a joke at the Winter Olympics?
Because the ice might crack up!
Waka.
Now, the thing is, you two have worked together.
Yes, we have.
Oh,
That's the partnership of the future, but you've done it already on Go 8-Bit,
We have,
which is
yes.
a new show. Now, this is based on classic video games. It's like a panel show based on classic video games, all for Dave. How does it work, then, Dara?
Basically, we're tapping into the fact that it's just fun to sit with your friends on a couch and play video games and just trash talk each other. So that's essentially what we do. So we bring on the people who are most likely to do trash talk, which are comics, and they compete against each other on Donkey Kong or Pac-Man or more modern VR games like we had you doing, or vintage games. Or we put them into silly costumes and make them do ludicrous things in the love of just playing games.
Quite an important question. Was I one of the best contestants to take part, Dara? Tell me at least I was better than Susan Calman, who was on the same show
Well,
as
that
me.
was kind of the point of that show, so I can't give away the ending. But let's just say in the grand scheme of things, really no. Because some people really take it very, very seriously. I mean, our classic episode was Susan Calman versus David James, the former England national goalkeeper.
And how did that go?
They went straight to, like, shark eyes. Both of them, like, if you can imagine how competitive Susan was when she was doing the dancing, and him as a professional footballer, that came right at each other, and that was glorious to watch. Susan probably just didn't regard you as a threat at all.
She was so wrong, though. So wrong.
Yeah. It brings it. You put a controller in somebody's hands, it brings out the competitor.
Yeah, you were saying that. Well, let's see yourself and Susan getting ready to take on a life-size version of a watery-based computer game. Sounds odd, but...
You all look wonderful. I cannot compliment you all enough.
Who's going to win?
I'm more concerned about all this water and the sort of electronics around us. Is it all entirely safe?
I'm more concerned about the fact I've got... I look like a German tennis player from the 80s.
You're going to have to explain what is going on there.
It was a little bit confusing, but basically the clever people at Go 8-Bit had hooked up these water buckets to control a computer game that we're playing. There wasn't actually an outfit that I was wearing there. That is my real body. That's what I look like without my clothes.
We never questioned that,
No,
Dara.
that was the last thing that crossed our mind.
Yeah, exactly.
But it did involve me having a teammate, which is not great for me. It says on all my school reports, doesn't play well with others. I'm quite a naturally competitive person. Genuinely holds me back in life.
Okay.
It's not good. Dara, are you quite competitive?
I can be. I'm quite. Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you get me in a situation where I'm competing against a friend, like whatever. I mean, naturally, I'm a fairly content individual. I'm quite zen. But if you put me in a room with Ed Byrne, for example, the two of us, you know, we'll fight over things. Yeah. So.
Now, Fozzie has starred in a computer game, but do you play Fozzie?
Oh, sure. I'm actually one of the few Muppets who can play video games.
Oh, because of your little paws?
Opposable thumbs.
Yeah.
Very handy. Isn't it?
Very rare among us Muppets.
Yes.
Yeah, but you play...
Hey, Fozzie.
Yeah.
The comedian's a bear.
No, he's a nut. He's wearing a necktie. You keep setting them up, I'll knock them down for you.
I've just watched this for like the next 20 minutes.
I know. But you two, it's not just, a panel-based show for you. You do actually play yourself, don't you, as well as you?
I'm pretty bad.
Hours on it.
I'm pretty bad. I played the same game every day for 18 months. But you recently did something over Christmas with a computer game that even for me, it felt a bit low.
What? OK, there was a game, there was a new Nintendo machine out and I bought it because I was on tour and I had time to play it. And I bought there's a Mario game and I played it and I finished. And only when I'd had it for 4 weeks did I tell my children I'd bought it. Because otherwise we'd have been competing for attention. I wanted the time to finish the game, OK? Right. So don't judge me. This is not bad etiquette. You worry about elbows on tables. This is modern life. This is how it's lived.
You'll be back on tour next week. There'll be a lot of downtime, hotels, a lot of time spent on your own. You're going to bring your console with you?
I do sometimes. If I got 3 or 4 days where, because we finish the shows at 11 o'clock and you're all awake and stuff.
Yeah, buzzy.
And you can't just wander around the streets of Birmingham at 11 o'clock at night. So sometimes you'll sit and you'll play a game instead.
Fair enough.
To kill the time.
But the tour is called Voice of Reason.
Yes, it is.
What are you being the Voice of Reason about?
To be honest, I'm not being reasonable. You come up with the title before you wrote the show.
OK.
And so the title is very old. I'm being angry with all sorts of things. Sleep. Brexit gets a mention at some point.
Of course it does.
Who knows why I come out in that? And they don't alienate any ticket sales. And then there's also things. And then I get how I turned up in a piece of fake news at one stage during the year. That's quite a bit. There's a big story about how I turned up in a completely fake news story. That's a whole thing that I go through at the end. And then just loads of messing around. I mean, the show's never, like Fozzie, am I right? It's never about anything. It's just about funny. It's just about funny. Yeah.
Who cares what it's about?
Yeah, it's not about a thing.
It's
You don't take Fozzie on tour.
Oh, my God, I would love that.
There's your water packs right there. Well, you can see Go 8-Bit on 10 o'clock on Monday on Dave, and Dara's tour is going to start on Thursday in Birmingham.
Exactly. Now, since it first burst onto our screens in 19...
I learned the most important thing is even if the joke isn't that funny, do a big smile, big hands, and go, waka, waka, waka.
I love that.
Perfect.
It was very real. You're going to continue this friendship after the show, do you reckon?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We're touring together next year.
Well, thank you very much to Dara and Fozzie for lots of laughs this evening. Dara's Go 8-Bit is going to be on Monday on Dave, and the Muppets will be on stage in London at the O2 on the 13th and 14th of July.
Yeah, and thanks to you too, Dev. It's been a pleasure.